Because here's the typical set of responses. Um, and this group is a little less typical. So if you work with young children, teenagers, young adults, and you ask these questions, how are you doing? How was school today? What's the response? It's a lot of this was fine. Okay. How was geography? Geometry, fine. Recess, okay. Now in the United States, a lot when you ask people how they're doing, you get a lot of awesomes. So the answers to this are kind of cultural, but for the most part, when you get these answers, what have you learned about that other person? Fine, okay, good, great, awesome. What does that actually mean? Do you know anything about what's going on? I kind of argue no. I mean, how many times do you say you're doing great because you don't want to upset someone? You don't want to come in there and say, oh, well, thank you. Let's begin our counseling session, pastoral counseling session, or here's a, Sunday school class of, 25 children. All right, everybody. So Reverend David I'm actually deeply depressed right now. The way I manage it is with excessive drinking. All right, kids, how are you today? You probably don't want to share that with, and I'm suggesting you don't, by the way. So we say we're good or we're great. We do that because it's not asked as a question. I think also we just want to protect people from our own complex inner lives. Now think about this. Think about, I used to ask people about a typical day. I don't think any of us have a typical day anymore. But your lives are really complicated. You have a lot going on. And that means that every person you meet, every child, teenager, adult, family member, friend, colleague, peer that you meet has a lot going on. They have rich, inner, complex lives. Small things like, hey, did you get your 8 hours of sleep last night? Nah, that's impacting you. From the small things of life, even the so-called good news, a new job, yay, that's a stressor in your life, to some of the more powerful endemic things in our society. You have a lot going on. So every person you meet, if you go to a supermarket and you're checking out, that person checking out your groceries, what's going on in their lives? Hey, how you doing today? Oh, fine, good. Maybe, and maybe not. Now, one of the reasons we kind of say fine or okay, in addition to like, we don't really think it's a question, is what do we say? Well, I'm feeling, sort of like, well, what? We lack the language. And for decades, psychologists who study emotions have said all emotions can be put on two dimensions: how much energy you have, low to really high, and how pleasant you're feeling, really low to really high. And we sometimes somewhat arbitrarily divide this into these quadrants, and we put names of emotions into each. And in a little bit, we're going to ask you the how are you question. And we'll want a real answer. We'll put you in breakout groups to do that. So how are you really? In addition to just connecting, like, why do we ask this? Because it matters how you feel.